welcome back to Keep It Real Boxing. This is Cypher Box bringing you the latest in boxing news, and basically just read a quick article on boxingscene.com. I'll put the link in the description of the video so you can have a read yourself regarding this man right here, Anthony Joshua. Now, as you know, Anthony Joshua has a few problems going on at the moment. He has two mandatory challenges, one for the IBF belt, which is PULEV, and the other one is for his WBA title, which is Luis Ortiz. Now, just reading this article, and this is regarding coming from Ortiz's manager, I believe it's Jimenez. I can never pronounce the name right, but I hope I pronounced that right. Basically saying that the apparent deal that everyone thought was happening with Deontay Wilder and Ortiz, so they were apparently supposed to be fighting each other on November 4th. There's no deal being finalised there with Deontay Wilder. So let me just put that out there. Deontay Wilder and Luis King Kong Ortiz have not finalised any sort of deal. There's no agreement or contract signed or anything for November 4th. The reason being is that Ortiz's manager has basically stated that Ortiz wants to fight Joshua. So he's the mandatory to the WBA title, and he wants Anthony Joshua. So basically, Team Ortiz have enforced their mandatory position with Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn that they want their shot at the WBA title. Now, I've seen a post on Instagram. I haven't seen too much in terms of articles, etc., confirming this, but apparently, from what I saw from that post, was that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn have decided to go with PULEV and defend the IBF belt first against PULEV, who's the mandatory challenger to that IBF title. Now, according to Ortiz's manager, the WBA have given Anthony Joshua 30 days to reach an agreement with Luis Ortiz. That 30 days runs out on the 3rd of September. I repeat, the 3rd of September. That's only a few days away. So I haven't heard of any negotiations, etc., taking place or anything like that. But apparently that 30 days runs out in the next few days now. Now, I'm just going to read a quote from Ortiz's manager and then kind of talk about this a little bit more. So here's what Ortiz's manager had to say. That's 5 days away. So if he doesn't want to face the big Cuban, the WBA should strip Joshua and give Luis the belt so he can face Wilder for a super clash of titans, because these guys are both extremely dangerous with incredible power. If the WBA breaks their own rules and gives Joshua a pass, then we will have no choice but to face Wilder on November 4th. So let's just wait these 6 days and wait on the WBA. Regardless, Luis will fight any of these two. In fact, if it was up to Luis, he would fight them both this year. And unlike Joshua and Wilder, he is confident in himself and he will unify all 4 belts by 2018. So it looks like Joshua's got a decision to make, and that decision is, who does he face? Because he could get stripped by the IBF. I believe in order to make the Klitschko fight happen, the first one, they had to pay PULEV some step aside money. He had to step aside then because he was the mandatory back then. He had to step aside. If they wanted to make Klitschko too, they would had to have done the same thing again. So I don't know where Joshua's going to go with this one or what Eddie Hearn's got in mind, but it looks like Luis King Kong Ortiz is not leaving this alone at the moment. He's not just going to settle to go and fight Deontay Wilder and give up his mandatory position for the WBA title. He wants that fight with Joshua. There's 6 days left of negotiation, or time to negotiate and come up with some sort of agreement for a fight to take place. Obviously, I've told you, I've heard that it looks like Joshua and Eddie Hearn are looking at PULEV, which I think Joshua will win easily. I don't think personally PULEV will cause him too many problems and he'll win that fight. But if he does go for the IBF title and PULEV, he risks losing his WBA title. Now, whether the WBA will strip him of his title, that's another thing altogether. It's all ifs, buts and maybes at the moment. But at the moment, it looks like, the one thing is for sure, Luis King Kong Ortiz is not just going to settle for Deontay Wilder just yet. He is going for that WBA title. He wants that WBA title, and Matchroom Boxing and Anthony Joshua have 6 more days to get back to Team Ortiz and the WBA and kind of come up with an agreement. Once those 6 days are up, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens, you know, what action the WBA actually takes. But it's gonna be interesting to see where Anthony Joshua goes with this now. Out of the 2 belts, the WBA and IBF, the WBA has more prestige, more history to it. I think most fighters prefer that or the WBC titles, you know, out of the 4 major sanctioning bodies. Now, 4 sanctioning major governing bodies. Now, obviously those are the WBA, WBC, WBO and IBF. Now, like I said, it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Does he go with PULEV, who I personally think he'll win and it shouldn't be too difficult of a fight for him? Now, or does he go with the WBA title against Ortiz? And Ortiz, as we know, is a very skilled opponent. He's got a lot of talent, power. You know, he is a dangerous heavyweight contender, and it'll be interesting to see which one he goes for. Does he go for the lighter touch with PULEV, or does he go for the real challenge in Louis King Kong Ortiz, in my opinion? But like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see how this one unfolds. There's still a few more days for all of this to kind of like pan out. Also, after those 6 days, what course of action does the WBA take? Will they strip Anthony Joshua if he doesn't come up with an agreement within the next 6 days? There's a load of things, loads of things going on here, loads of possibilities, loads of scenarios. So, like I said, just gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, try and keep myself clued up with this as much as possible as I can, and keep feeding that out to you guys. Alright, now guys, like I always say, if you're enjoying the videos, if you like what you see, hit that like button, share the video, and of course subscribe to the channel. And if you choose to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification icon so you can get notified the minute I upload a new video. Alright, until next time, this is Cypherbox reminding you to keep it real.